I'm liking the way this is coming out. Now, we've all agreed that I'm not a very good welder, but I've got this filled in most of the places. There are a lot of spots I missed. And yeah, I could go over that with Bondo if I wanted to and just hide it. But what I'm going to do is come back with the welder and just try to fill those low spots and then grind it again. Almost using the welding wire like filler. Just a few low spots on each weld and then come back and grind it. So I'm going to hit it again. So I just finished grinding and sanding, and I think it came out pretty darn good. I mean, you could still see the weld, but I could sand that all day if I wanted to, but I want to move on. So I'm going to primer this, keep it covered. I can always come back to it, and I think I'm going to move on to maybe doing this step at this point in time. It's time for that. I was going to make this patch, but I was like, I can get that anytime also. But I think the next big move is to figure out this step. And that might entail me putting the door on and hanging the door properly to see where the step lands. But I think I should be okay just replacing it. There's the piece over there, my welding helmet sitting on it, my face shield sitting on it. So I got to cut that down and get it to fit right here. You see I started chipping away at the inner step there. I cut it off as far as I could with the cutoff wheel. Probably have to get it off with the Sawzall, but underneath there's a little holder that's part of this face here, and it's the same on the other side. And I was able to break it free on the other side. And as I come across here towards the rear, I'm just getting a chisel under there and trying to break the spot welds. Then I'm just looking at this here. Somebody did a nice Bondo job. Just right over the rust. That's fine. I got new cab corners. I'll take this Bondo out. I'll cut this out. Treat what I can get at. It's just going to take time and patience. A lot of patience. Back on it today, I got this piece basically broken loose. There's one spot weld right here and one here that still haven't been cut away yet. And I just want to maybe make a cut right here with the wheel, get this piece out. I can probably flex it until the weld breaks. And then I'll see about maybe either repairing this hole, because that's not part of the cab corner. The cab corner replacement panel comes right to here. So this has got to be replaced with regular sheet metal. And then you can kind of see the seam right there of the step piece, which I have the replacement piece right there. So once I get this cut out, I'm going to try to set that in place and see how it fits. So you can see I made a cut right here. And then this just kind of broke off and left the spot weld behind, which I can grind off. Then this is going to be part of the cab corner itself, the replacement piece. And then this will have to be filled in with sheet metal. You see it's got a hole there, probably for a rubber, what do you call those things? The bumper, for when you close the door, it'll hit a piece of rubber. So that'll have to get replaced eventually down the road. The trick here, do I want to leave, how much of this do I want to leave? There's kind of a weld here. There's probably a spot weld there. I could probably just clip it right off and be done with it. Bend it right out and get the grinder right in there and leave it all behind, and then see if that piece there, how it fits. And what do I have to do? And I'm just looking at this here. I have to get the grinder in there, and there's a spot weld there that has to come out. I have to clean up this corner a little bit. And then the big decision is going to be, I can take this whole panel out right here, break all these spot welds along the floor, bend the floor up. I believe there's a support bracket behind there, comes down to about here. Probably spot welds all the way down here. Yeah, I could feel them. Just to put that whole piece in. Or I could put this underneath, cut the other piece down, and maybe butt weld it to this, or cut this up a little higher, make a butt weld, or put it underneath it or behind it. I got to figure that out next. So give me a sec. So that fits pretty darn good. Look at that. Now, how it fits with the fender here and the door here, to be determined. But just today I ordered new the kit for the hinges. So I'm going to rebuild the hinges, and I'm going to try to rehang this door. But it's one of the details I got to work out. You see, this has a lip or a return facing up. The old one didn't. It just sat on top of the things. I got to actually slide this out like a drawer. But I'm not going to do that. Not with one hand. But, you know, the details have got to be worked in here. This, I believe, goes in and probably another 1/4 inch to make it just right. You know, it's hitting here. So there's some details to work out, but all in all, I'm happy the way it's shaping up. A lot more to do. And then there's my weld. Should I hide that with Bondo or just keep grinding it? I think I'm gonna keep grinding it. You know what I want to do though? I was not talking. Joe left me a note about things moving. I should put the screws back in here and so if they're still 15 5/8 center to center. That's a good experiment to see if this ended up where it was supposed to after all the welding is said and done. So I'm going to check that, and I'm going to look into what do I want to do with these details here. If I cut these returns off, then it sits right on top of that border piece. And the other way to do it is I can slice this back piece and try to butt weld that to that. I bet it'll look awful though. I know the seam will look just like that. I know my work. I know what I'm capable of. Same thing on this. I'm not going to cut that off. I mean, I am going to cut that off. I'm going to let that sit on top of the piece where it's supposed to be. And then whatever I got to do to make this go back farther, I'll probably make a cut across here, down low, and maybe tuck it behind. I don't know. Don't know. I got to think that one over. You know what? Maybe I'll end the video here. If anybody's got any suggestions on how I should handle that, speak now. I've already gotten one person who said I should keep this back piece and peel this up and do all that extra work, but I'm not into that. But if you guys convince me into it, talk me into it, you know, anything could happen. Thanks for watching.